Well, I hope that you enjoy the conference opening sessions. And now is the time for our first case study of the day. It is not unlikely that each and every one of us has thought about their future. What what comes after a certain something, a certain event, a certain occasion, and so on. But how many of you have actually taken some time to think what comes after you or some other employee leaves the company or the team? Well, majority of you here are HRs or are leading organizations. So I assume that there have been some noddings and, of course, signs in the background. But for all of you who haven't put much thought into this or would like to improve their plans of succession, Ines Larsen Schmidt, the Director of HR for Central Cluster at Transcom, will share some insights in the topic and open some new horizons for us. Ines, welcome. Thank you for being here with us today.
And thank you very much. Dobro jutro. Good morning. A very sunny Monday morning from Germany, close to Hamburg. And I'm so pleased to be with you. And starting a bit to tell you more about that talent management that we mentioned. And it is, hopefully you can see my screen. It is a lot of times that we have been talking about the war for talent, and we have always linked it to recruitment. But when have we lately really reflected about what is talent? And talent is something very individual. It is like a little unique mix for every individual. It is like a package of competencies, of personal traits, but it also has to do with expectations. It has to do a bit with dreams, with personal goals. So it was the last time you really noticed all the stars around you. And did you wonder a bit what they are all about? Yes, you did, for sure. Because you have mostly in your organizations something in place. It is well structured, it is process oriented and process based. It is called talent management, very often with the addition of succession planning. You have put assessments in place, have you? Because you wanted to ensure objective measurements. You want to fuel a pipeline, a pool of qualified successors, and you want to see development activities. All of this is good, yet are we missing a bit the purpose behind? Because very often we dive deep into that moment in time when we take action. But to sit back for a moment and to say, what about the purpose? What about the perspective? You can have two approaches. One is the inside out approach. We need to have talent management. This is contemporary, modern HR work. We need to do this as a business to survive and to last and to succeed. On the other hand side, what about the outside in perspective? What is in it for the respective party? I think it's quite clear when we look into the business. So the business especially the service industry where I come from is based on individuals ready to offer 100% of, well, existing competencies to provide high quality services. But how do we meet those requirements? Because we need to look into future demand. We need to look into expected competency needs. We need to identify also a future skill set. We also have the employee, and the employee lives its own life on business premises. It is not about you have a work life and you have a private life. Your own personality is still with you while you're working. So you look for a perspective. What's coming next? What can I do? You look for feedback and you look for inspirations. Are there people around you? Are there work streams around you? Is there collaboration around you that kind of nurtures this for you? And you strive for learning and development. It is only in rare cases that you join and then you say, that's it. Well, for me, that's sufficient. There we come in the game as the employers in our businesses because we are eager to find potential. We would like to see if there is someone who can do even more or who can meet those needs of clients, of the industry around us. We would like to bench present and future requirements. Where do we stand in the light of the competitors? And would we be able also to identify those key competencies that make us successful? Us in collaboration, us just achieving those business goals. Because this is, in the end, what it is about in the business. It is about profitability, but it's also about positivity, something that my colleagues around me have heard me saying numerous times. So let's have a closer look, maybe. So let's take the Hubble telescope and look around these stars and let us identify those future skill sets. Let us focus on development opportunities and let us somehow fuel this pipeline of talent or this pipeline, let's say, of those beautiful human beings around us, willing and ready to offer us their performance. There's a little story I want to tell you. Indeed, there are two stories I would like to tell you about. One is the story I called Walk the Talk. It was once about an outstanding talent. I had the pleasure to meet this person, a lady, and the people were really, really excited about her. They said, no matter what it is, there is this one colleague overperforming, always demanding more, and always in agreement. Hey, this is our designated kind of super management manager, and let us do something. And she is always ready to do more. So she is capable to leave her own comfort zone. So let's go for it. And we started to make a couple of promises. And it was mentioned, yeah, we have a succession planning grid in place, and you are on top of it, and definitely you will be the successor. The first question raised inside our colleague, and she was wondering, for whom would I be the successor? Which super management position am I able to achieve? And she was a bit left alone and she lost her focus because all those promises resulted more or less in unstructured offers and in promises not kept. They lost the dialogue because she was anyhow the designated super management, anyhow the overperformer. So there were more expectations from both ends, but never ever aired these concerns they might have had. For whom is this the real successor? And in the end, after a certain period of time that was not too long, it was less than a year, this wonderful designated super manager left the company. So it is important for us to shape this a bit further, to really say, how can we create an environment that is kind of focused on what is going to be achieved and how will we achieve this? To set some concrete goals, to talk about them, to provide feedback and inspiration. As said in the beginning, something extremely important, especially for the party who is wondering what is in it for me. The employer side was already done with it. They knew, oh, another manager for the pipeline, but they have never been kind of precise enough to say it is which position and is it really a match in this position. So this star was shining not anymore in the focus of this lovely Hubble telescope of human resources. And there is another story. It is a story about the look for connections. And it is about a team, a smaller team, 5 people, quite dedicated to a specific area in hospitality industry, which we call reservations. 3 or 5 left, and there was still a big target to be delivered, a strategic target. It was said, hey, we need to change this department. We want to create a sophisticated and upscaled revenue management department with the tangible reservation people still there, but with much more to it, with modern revenue management. So how to deliver this target with only 2 of employees left in the team? And the leader made a good decision and said, it is about diverse talent. Let us attract people with different backgrounds and let us have some future competencies in focus. We might not convert this department tomorrow, but we will be able to do something if we only give time to develop, if we provide guidance, if we are focused on enablement. And this is what they did. So this constellation that was created really resulted in 2 promotions, and these promotions came from tailored paths. So all parties were involved and were aware towards which position and towards which scope of responsibilities this development path would lead. And it resulted in this successful conversion into a new modern department with recognized individuals. So you can have specialization and you have this development, and all of a sudden you discover that it's about complementing skills in very many cases, that you need to be a bit courageous, that you need to constantly scan for what is possible. Here they are again, the stars, and this goes a bit towards me and my career with quite a bit of experience, whereas experience is probably not what you might think, come on, experience, you know everything. No, I don't know everything. But I learned over time that it is about constant adaptation, that it is about never ending curiosity, because this is what you need to have in human interaction. Don't forget the human interaction. Ask people, be curious, listen to them and listen fully, actively listen so that you understand something that goes behind. That after you have your purpose, that you say, I would like to do something that is future oriented. I would like to make, let's say, my business stable, succeeding, also in the ever changing environment we are in. But also for the individual, that some personal goals, ideas, also, let's say, courage are rewarded in human interaction, and that somebody feels acknowledged or even recognized. There is also a drive in me to socially influence, because this is in the end of the day what we are doing very often. It is not about the instructions, a hierarchy. It is about organizational development, the understanding of fluctuating scopes in roles and responsibilities. And if you socially influence, if you feel that it is a community and your business is a community of individuals, of talents, of this specific package of competencies and personal traits, you might discover a lot that gives you strength and also the courage for the future challenges. So be aware of talent migration. I saw a lot of people moving in and out across businesses, industries, and across borders. So this talent migration offers us new opportunity for the diversity in our companies, for innovation, for inspiration. There is certainly a need or even a requirement to nurture existing and inflowing talent. We have people on board, but we have also an inflow and an outflow. And I know what you want to say. It is about, oh my God, but then I develop and all these guys are leaving. No, they are not. Just be confident that they are not, and they will feel it. When you have confidence in people, this is something about the natural trust of human beings. And trust is certainly something that you don't put under competencies. And with this certain trust, people will just simply know that you care and know that you are really opting to create that ideal environment for people to blossom and shine. So, this is a bit of a conclusion when it comes to talent management and succession pipelining. Like me, you are great professionals out there, and you have so many processes, a great structure in your organization, but keep on being explorers. This is also something in it for you in all those different roles with all those different hats, be it you are an employee, an employer, or be it you are a business leader. Keep on exploring, and this will allow you some exciting discoveries. And some of my colleagues know well that since younger years I have been what you call a Trekkie. So I'm quite fond of Star Trek. Maybe this is the little explorer heart and soul inside of me, nurtured by my curiosity that brought me, I wouldn't say across the globe, but 16 times moving house. So many different assignment, national and international, relocated also abroad, and all this shapes this experience that makes you not less curious, but maybe a bit more set for challenges, a bit more calm inside, and a bit more prepared to reflect. And this is what we are doing also in talent management. Explore what's around you, and then you can apply all those goals, your processes, you put it into action, and you will fuel your future pipeline. So, thank you very much. It was an honor to share a little bit of our insights and my insights into what we call talent management and succession planning. So I should be
Ines,
back. Yes.
wonderful. Yes, I am back. This presentation was fabulous. I could not imagine anyone with more experience and more knowledge and better fitting for this topic than you. Thank you so much for sharing everything with us today. There was one question.
Yes.
As you mentioned, you have moved 16 times, and you have switched positions. And what is some advice for everyone, for manager, for employees who would one day or who have already been somehow in your, not exactly in your shoes, but in similar situations? What is the top advice you would give them in order to, be at least as great as you are now?
Oh, thank you. Great is probably a bit too much. I'm quite a humble person. And as you know, Milica, there is no top recipe for this. But what I have been doing is I have looked at different careers, and I have seen a very shaped path for HR professionals, and people have been telling me, hey, and you need to settle down. And HR professionals don't leave their positions very often. But I always felt that there is something more, and I wanted to see myself exposed to different environments and to different challenges. So, once you achieve and you succeed, it is a good feeling. And as always, as a human being, you want to stay and you say, hey, this is a good, comfortable position and I'm successful. But yet I have often left then because I found another scope of a role, an expanded one, or it was about, will I be able? I had the pleasure to live and work in the United Arab Emirates for 3 years, and must say I joined right after the events of September 11th. So it was rather crisis than this blossoming, enough money and enough opportunities everywhere. I felt that people would need me over there. And it was like I couldn't even go there and have a look at how the environment looked like, but I just had that need to go and leave a very lovely position in a hotel and vineyard where I was a well respected professional. But yet, it is maybe really a bit of myself inside this. We are explorers. I can only encourage you to also explore what could be out there and find out about yourself. If you can expand your scope and test yourself a bit in different environments, but without leaving your own function, your beloved function of HR. And this is what I've been doing for so many years now, and I would never leave it. It's just my passion.
What a wonderful story, Ines. Thank you so much for sharing all of this with us and for all the HR Week attendees. I'm sure that everyone has enjoyed the story as much as I have, and I'm looking forward very much to hearing even more stories from you in the future as you have lots of things to share with our audience. And once again, thank you for being here at HR Week and supporting the HR world. I hope that you will enjoy the rest of the show as everyone else is. And I would like to invite all the attendees at the moment to go back to the main stage where the panel on talent management is awaiting us. See you in 5 minutes. Have a great day.